So welcome to this small little video, the Lumix S5 in Iceland. My name is Paul, I'm a German filmmaker and I was maybe a month ago in Iceland. My YouTube channel got a little bit quiet in recent times because I have so much stuff to do. I have a small YouTube channel but a rather big production company. I can live from my videography work. I'm a little filmmaker company. And I was in Iceland with a friend, 13 days, a ring route trip with a camper van, and I used mainly my Lumix S5 for this trip. I used it with a rig, I used it just how it is, like this, and with the 16 to 35 mm lens from Lumix, the S Pro line, and the 24 to 70 mm lens from Sigma. And I can tell you the best advantages this lens has is, in my opinion, the high dynamic range and the durability in terms of weather, sand, rain, cold, wet and everything. We took this camera to the cold places in Iceland. We had maybe the best weather we had was like 7 degrees Celsius. We had like rain all the time. Our cameras were dripping wet the whole time, like I mentioned in the other video. It's like standing in a shower and pouring constant water over this camera and filming with this camera. And this camera could withstand every rainy situation and wind. You have to imagine that when you're in Iceland, you are already in a cold place and it rains and it's windy. And you are going to see some waterfalls because Iceland has over 100 waterfalls. And you are already very, very wet, and you go to a place which is also very, very wet, and your camera has to withstand a lot of high windy situations and a lot of wet situations. My camera was basically wet the whole time. I cleaned my lens the whole time. One lens towel, these little lens towels are not enough. I had to bring maybe 5 of them because it was so wet. And this camera made a decent job because the battery life is okay. When you use it with a cage, you can place it on the ground. It's wet and sand and everything. You dust this camera. The camera became very dirty, and this camera did an excellent job. You can program the buttons as you want because sometimes you have to hold the camera in certain situations. And the Lumix S5, the Panasonic Lumix S5, made a very good job. Could I have done this trip with another camera? Sure. The pictures I could easily have taken all these pictures with a far more cheaper camera or with a smaller camera, because you don't need a high aperture when you shoot landscape. Photography in landscape is always important. Use aperture 7 or 14 or 16 to get everything in focus. Don't try to shoot landscape with an open aperture, that makes no sense. I hope you know this. And yes, a high quality camera makes something better in terms of video, not in terms of photos. You can go to Iceland with a normal camera and take pictures however you want. That will not make the pictures better when you have a better camera, but videos are a different thing. Videos are far more complicated, and the Lumix S5 did a ultra good job. I used maybe 50-50 the Lumix 16 to 35 and the Sigma 24 to 70 mm. When I filmed myself, I used often the 16 mm to get a nice wide angle shot, sometimes also the 70 mm to have sometimes a blurry background. Blurry background doesn't make a professional video, but it looks pretty nice. I can definitely recommend the Lumix S5 for an Iceland trip. especially with a cage. My cage is from Small Rig. I have all my accessories in my video description, and I can say that this camera provided me with excellent features, excellent video. The SNQ mode is ultra nice, accessible. You can program the camera how you want it, button-wise, and program different modes that you can shoot in different styles. I shoot mainly in CineD D2 or Vlog, and a lot of things in HLG to make an HDR video, which I did. And if you want to learn more about this camera and how I used it in Iceland, and maybe subscribe to my channel, I can recommend this camera 100% for Iceland. That was it for today. Thank you very much, and maybe see you in the next video.